Welcome to the property management system. To start, you double click on the respective icon. Then you log in with the username demo, and then your password, which is case sensitive demo in lowercase. You want to change your password, you can tick there. Then you log in. Once you log in, you'll see the data manipulation buttons. There's a new record button, the open button, the save, the spell checker, the autocomplete, the undo, the find, the email. You can print your reports into the printer, email, Excel, and you can delete. You can open up these applications from the system. You can go to the tool and access the calculator, your printers, date. To start with, you click on your help button, and once you click on the help button, then now you'll be able to see the manual. It's important to go through the manual so that you can understand the entire system and how it works, so that you can benefit from it. Then you'll need to go through the training guide. The training guide is important because it will show you from how you install the system, how you set it up, and how you use it. So it's important to go through it so that you understand the system in totality. To start with, you start by registering the user and the company. So you go to administration, you go to company, you click on the new record button to create your company. So depending on whether you're an agent or an owner, if you're an agent, you create as an agent. If you're an owner, you create as an owner. Once you create it, you click on the save button to generate for you the sequences. And if you want, you can click on the logo and put in your logo. Then you can configure it on where you want it to be on your reports. Then you will register the user. Once you register the user, you'll be able then to give permissions. So you can come and say, create the user, then you say the company which they should access, then you give the permissions, then whether they access, update, post, delete, email, print, all these permissions you give them. Then once you've given them, then now you will exit and log in as a user, and then you'll go to the general ledger and go to the financial setup now as a new user. Then you'll go click on the new record button to create the chart of accounts. So in the chart of accounts, you'll have the periods. In the chart of accounts, you can make changes in the chart of accounts to reflect your company. If you're an agent, then you'll need to put in the landlords as the liability accounts. If you're the owner, then you just have the forestries, the revenue streams, so that as you generate your rent, you can see it as income. So if you're making any changes, remember you must conform to this classification. The current assets are between 1,699 all the way to the expense. This classification is very important. Then you can be able to put in the budgets. You can be able to put in your cost and revenue centers and the due dates for those items which you need to check when their dates are due. There will be an alert that shows you every 7 days before they are due. Once you've done that, then you go to the stores. In the stores, you can list the store items where they're applicable. Alternatively, you go to other items. The other items, you start with the service items. You put in your rent items, your property items. Remember to use a category property. And other non-property items, you put them as services. This could be for other services which are not rental services. Then you'll attach the GL codes. You can say the codes that are applicable, and then you say they're in use. Once you're through with that, then you come to the payment modes, the modes in which you receive or make payments. And again, remember to attach the GL codes. Then you'll go to the expenses. Here, if you're an agent, you put in the agent commissions and the agent repairs. And if you're the owner, you say owner's repairs. So this will have a relationship in whether the expenditure will be expenditure or the landlord's expenditure. So once you're done that, then you go to the property ledger. In the property ledger, you register the property. You click on the new record button and you register the property. Then you can register the units. You can see here the units. The units, you can register one. So you come here and you say flat number 5. Flat number 5. Say it's a 3-bedroom. You can say it is 18,000. You can say square feet 3500. You can say deposit is 18,000. You can say it's paid every monthly. Then you hit on the save button, and you can come down here and put in a meter for it. Number 5, we say is a water meter. you can say is W2200425. So 4 dials, and you can say it's not a reverse meter, its conversion factor is 1. You can say yes, you want to use it, and you can initialize a meter. Come initialize a meter, we'll put in 01 01 2020 to 1250. Then you can click on the save button. So now we initialize the meter. So once we've done that, then we go to the tenant ledger where we put in the leases. So we come to the tenants. Again, here we can look for a tenant by just a click of a button. You can say let's look for Jepto. Either she's there, she's not there. So then you register her. You say Mary Ngui. Oh, sorry, we put in the wrong place. Put in here Mary Ngui Jepto. Put in the mobile number. Then we shall say it's a tenant. Put in here its account receivable. Put in our email address mwjepto@gmail.com. You say Nairobi, and you can save. Okay, now once you've done that, then we'll create the lease. You can see the other lease is here, so we'll come and say new. Then we'll come over here, and then you can say Jepto. You can see her name appears. Select her name. Then we come here, we go to the property, Kilimoli. You can say flat. You can see flat 5 has appeared. Say 1st of January 2020 to 31st of December 2021. Then you can say we're satisfied with that. The deposit was 18,000. And you can activate the lease. Once you've activated the lease, then you can scroll back. Then we click on her name again. We come down here, put the lease items. We click on that, and we told new record. Again, we come rent. Here we come and say rent. We say it is 18,000. Then we come down here and you say service charge 1,200. Then we come and say water. Billing at 0 because we've put in a meter bill. Okay, then we click on the save button. So if you go back to the property module, you will see now that particular property. You will see that Mary Jepto occupies that property. So now we can do the billing, but before we do the billing, we'll do the meter reading. Come here and you say water, then you generate what is called as a meter reading sheet. So the meter reading sheet is what will give our meter reader. We'll go around and do the readings, and then come back. And once they've come back, they'll put in the readings. So we say 02 2020, so 1200. Oh, that is export on. So we say 1300. We say it was reading. And again, we go to the next one. Say 01 2 2020. Then we say 1850. Then we say reading. In case we put in an erroneous reading, like say 1000, it will tell us if the meter is a reverse reading meter and therefore it cannot read forward. Yeah, so we need to put in the correct format. 01 02 2020. We put in the readings. We said it was 1400. Sorry, it was 1400. Then we say it is a reading type. After reading, and you can say we want to build this one, yes. We want to build this one, yes. We don't want to build this one. We want to build. We will not build flat 3 because there's nobody at this moment, so we leave it at the way it was when it was last left. Then we generate what is known as a variant sheet that shows us what is the total consumption and you can compare it with our bulk meter to ensure that there are no leakages. Once you're satisfied with that now, then we can come in and do our billing. We'll come here and do first our rent billing. We shall say 1st of February, and the due date is the 5th of February. Then we'll generate the bills. So remember to follow the instructions all the way. You can see there we are. Here's a pro forma bills. It shows us what we intend to bill. It's better to look at this so that if the tenant has come in, we make sure it's in the system. If the tenant has left, we've already removed them from the system. Then once we've done that, we can post. Yeah, we post. Yeah, we have posted, and we can now can print the bills, so we can send them via emails. Then also we can do our utility billing. Again, here we'll come and say is water. Then we'll generate the bills. So you can see again our pro forma comes for water. You can see the consumption. You can see the total amount of money that we're going to charge the tenants. And again, we can post. So now we've done the billing for both the rent and the water billing. Yeah. So now if we say print, they'll go to the individual, to the printer, and then you can send it to the tenants, or you can email them. And if you go back to Mary's account, you will see her account now reads the 2 bills for both the rent, and you can use this. This is the one that is best to use, the item balances. Then you can do the preview. You can see it will show it was rent, it was service charge, it was water, and this is the total amount of money you expect from her. So if JPO comes to pay, you'll go to the receipts. You can see the items are there. You will say new. She paid on the 4th of February. She made a payment. She made, say, by M-Pesa. You can put in the M-Pesa code there. So it is LL099. Then you can say what it was. You can say this one was 18,000. She paid 18,000. Then she paid 1,200. Then she paid 2,100. Okay, then you can post and generate the receipts. Okay, so if you have a POS printer, you can generate a POS receipt which looks like that. Alternatively, if you don't have a POS printer, you can print. All you have to do is say no and generate a receipt, standard receipt that looks like that. Okay, let's paste someone else's. We go back, we say we want to pay Susan. You can see Susan bills have come. Then we go to receipts. You'll see there are also other older bills belong to Susan. So again, we'll say new. We'll come here, but we'll just pay. We'll pay for. Come here. We say February 4th. We say she paid. She paid by cash. Then we say she paid 2500. 10, 1, 2, 3, 500, 200, and 1650. So we generate for her receipt. Okay, so there we are, can generate for her receipt. Then if we go back to the property, you will see now, if you go now to that property, we will see the 2 receipts have come. The 2 receipts, we can generate what is known as the property statement at this moment. We will see we had an opening balance of that. These are the 2 receipts have come. So now we need to do is pass in the expenses so that we can pay the landlord. In addition, if you go to the units, you will see they've changed the last bill. So you can see all of them have been last billed on, and the meter readings have now been adjusted accordingly. So to generate the property expenses, we'll come here and say new. We'll say this again was on the February the 7th. Then we come down here, we say new. We say the agent commission, it was say for 10,000. Maybe not here. Then we come down here, we say the repairs, it was 15,000. Okay, then we can post. Okay, so again, what this one does, it reduces the amount of money now we're going to pay the landlord. You can see it has come to 21 because we have received the money from the tenants. Now we are paying the landlord. Okay, so once we do that, then we shall now be able to make the payment to the landlord. In this case, we're paying the landlord 21,500. So you come here, say new, say again on the 9th, on the 10th, we made a payment to the landlord, which was a bank payment. You can put in the check number there, and then you pay the landlord. I think it was 22. If I say that, it was 21,500. So it was 21,500. That's what you're paying the tenant, the landlord. So do that. So once you've done that, if you come back here, you will see now we don't owe the landlord any money. So all this work we've been doing behind the scenes, it has been going to the GL. So you can come here, you can see the general ledger, the properties is what we've just been doing. You can see the tenants account, again this is what we've just been doing, the receipts. And you can go to the landlord's account in the GL and see its position, while at the same time you can go to the landlord. So you go here, you see Kimoli, there it is. You can see there's a debit of 2375. So you need to find out why it is like that. You need to go through the accounts and check. But this is because the money we billed the tenants vis-a-vis what we charge the tenants. Then if it is the owner of the property, we'll go back to the property. This time we'll open the other property that belongs to the owner, and in this particular one we'll just do the billing, because this one now will generate the items straight as revenue items. So again, we'll go to 1st of February to the 5th of February, then we shall say generate. Okay, there we are. Then we shall post. And if we go now to our GL, we should see that again we have received some money. In this case, these are now the revenues of the business, because we are the owners of that particular property. So if you go to revenue accounts, you shall see now there they come, the service charge and the rent, and the commissions that we had charged the other landlord, and the repairs which we did on behalf of the landlord, which we recouped from the landlord. So now if you go to our GL, you will see the GL, go to the trial balance, you see it balances, and now we can go to the P&L. The P&L will show us the position of the business. Again, you can see there. Then we can even do a petty cash items. We go back again to the cash book, petty cash. We start by introducing some petty cash amount. Come here, say new. We go and say we want to top up cash. We say we want to start by topping up with 5,000. Say demo, we want to approve it. When you save, then you can come down here. Okay, so now we have 5,000. You come down here, you can say travel and snacks. You can say here travel. So you create your own geo codes. So you say it was 1500. Then you say demo. Then you say posting yes. Then you say again new. You say Wi-Fi. Again. Posting. You say 1750. Demo. So yes. You save. So you can see there we are down to 1700. If you go again to the GL, so what is happening is that as we are working behind the scenes, the system is updating the general ledger. And if you now go to our P&L, you'll see the expenses have come through. So again, we go to our reports, the geo reports, can go to trial balance, we make sure it balances. Then we go to our P&L, you can see the expenses have now come in. Then we can go to the monthly one, which will show us month by month what has transpired. The same thing can happen with the balance sheet. You can even go to the month by month, because this one will also show you the landlords where it is applicable. You can see Kimoli House is there. So once satisfied with that, then you can go back to the property ledger, and you can be able now to print out the other reports for that individual particular property. You can come and say the property schedule. It will show you the property schedule, whatever is in arrears, what has been paid. Yeah. Then you can also see what is called the tenant schedule. Again, to show you the tenants. This one who owes you has in arrears. Then you can get this report, which is also a very important report, which is the, oh, I think I should have picked Kimoli. Yes, then pick Kimoli. Then I start with the property schedule. Yeah, you can see there it is. It will show you item by item who owes you. Then you can go to the tenant schedule, again to show each tenant how they have paid and what is in arrears. Then you can see this one is very important. You can see this one because it will show you with the aging. So the tenant, what flat they are in, and how they are, and how the money is aged. So you can use it for debt collection. Okay. Once you're through that, then you'll be able to do also other aspects of the system. And once you're done with the system, you click on the exit, and then you remember to take system backup. And once you've taken, that will be the end. Thank you very much for your time.